your relationship with President Zelensky better now that things were in the Oval Office?
It was never bad. We had a little dispute because I disagreed with something he said, and the cameras were rolling, and that was okay with me. But we had a dispute. But look, he's in a tough situation, a very tough situation. He's been inviting a much bigger force. He told me that he needs more weapons, but he's been saying that for 3 years, He needs more weapons, and we're going to see what happens. I want to see what happens with respect to Russia. Because Russia had been surprised and disappointed, very disappointed that they did the bombing of those places after discussions. What do you want Vladimir Putin to do? Well, I want him to stop shooting, sit down, and sign a deal. And we have the confines of a deal, I believe, and I want him to sign it and be done with it and just go back to life.
Russian President Vladimir Putin on Monday declared a 3-day ceasefire from May 8th to the 10th in its war with Ukraine. The 72-hour truce would coincide with Putin hosting international leaders for lavish celebrations to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the victory over Nazi Germany in World War II. Putin's move appeared aimed at signaling to the world that Russia is still interested in peace, something that Ukraine and its European allies dispute. On Monday, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said U.S. President Donald Trump wants more than just a 3-day truce.
He wants to see a permanent ceasefire. I understand Vladimir Putin this morning offered a temporary ceasefire.
Speaking to reporters in New Jersey on Sunday, Trump said he was disappointed that Russia has continued to attack Ukraine.
I want to see what happens with respect to Russia. Because Russia had been surprised and disappointed, very disappointed that they did the bombing of those places after discussions.
U.S. proposals on ending the 3-year war in Ukraine have called for Washington's recognition of Moscow's control over Crimea, as well as de facto recognition of Russia's hold on other parts of Ukraine. European and Ukrainian counterproposals, however, defer detailed discussion about territory until after a ceasefire is concluded.
What do you want Vladimir Putin to do? Well, I want him to stop shooting, sit down, and sign a deal. And we have the confines of a deal, I believe, and I want him to sign it and be done with it and just go back to life.
Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, in Rome for the funeral of Pope Francis, met in a Vatican basilica on Saturday to try to revive faltering efforts to end the war in Ukraine. After which, Trump suggested Zelensky was ready to give up Crimea, which Russia seized from it in 2014, as the price of a peace deal. But U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said on Sunday that the Trump administration might abandon its attempts to broker a deal if Russia and Ukraine do not make headway.